a dragon's wobble. Is China really in trouble? China's economy is sputtering, growth is slowing, markets are jittery. Is this just a blip, or is the Asian giant really in trouble? The answer, my friends, is more complicated than a plate of Kung Pao chicken after one too many Tsingtao beers. Some say it's just growing pains. Others whisper about deeper problems, like a bad case of corruption or maybe even a global conspiracy. Buckle up, folks, because we're diving headfirst into the mystery of China's economic crisis. Red flags on the horizon, signs of China's economic slowdown. First, let's look at the evidence. China's growth has been slowing for a while. Their factories aren't humming like they used to. People are buying fewer cars and apartments. Even their stock market is looking as shaky as a panda on roller skates. The government is trying to fix things, but it's like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. They're pumping money into the economy, but it's not working as well as they hoped. Something just seems off, like that last spring roll you ate that might have been a little too adventurous. The usual suspects: pandemics, trade wars, and policy hiccups. Now, the usual suspects are lining up. First, there's the pandemic. It hit everyone hard, and China was no exception. Then there are the trade wars with the US, which have been about as fun as a root canal without anesthesia. And let's not forget about China's own policies. They've been cracking down on businesses, especially in the tech sector, which has made investors nervous. But are these the real reasons for China's economic woes, or is there something else lurking beneath the surface? Whispers in the Great Hall: corruption, power struggles, and international intrigue. Here's where things get really interesting. Some say that corruption within the Chinese government is to blame. Others whisper about power struggles within the Communist Party, like a real-life episode of House of Cards, but with more dumplings and fewer monologues. And then there are the conspiracy theories. Some believe that international forces are trying to sabotage China's rise. Could it be true? Who knows? But it wouldn't be the first time global politics got a little messy. Section 5, Islands in the Stream, the Philippines and the Dragon's Shadow. Now, where does the Philippines fit into all of this? The archipelago nation, with its strategic location in Southeast Asia, has always been a significant player in the geopolitical chessboard. Its proximity to major sea routes and its rich natural resources make it a coveted ally and a potential flashpoint in regional tensions. Well, the Philippines has always been caught between China and the US, kind of like that friend who gets dragged into every argument. Historically, the Philippines has had a complex relationship with both superpowers. On one hand, it has deep-rooted historical ties with the United States, dating back to the early 20th century. On the other hand, its geographical proximity to China has fostered significant economic and cultural exchanges over the centuries. Economically, the Philippines relies heavily on China for trade and investment. China is one of the Philippines' largest trading partners, with billions of dollars in goods exchanged annually. From electronics to agricultural products, the flow of goods between the two nations is vital for the Philippine economy. Chinese investments in infrastructure such as roads, bridges and ports have also been crucial in the country's development. If China's economy tanks, the Philippines could be in for a rough ride. The interconnectedness of their economies means that any significant downturn in China would have ripple effects in the Philippines. This could lead to job losses, reduced investments, and a slowdown in economic growth. The Philippine stock market, which is sensitive to global economic trends, would likely see volatility affecting both local and foreign investors, but there's also an opportunity here. The shifting dynamics of global trade present a unique chance for the Philippines to reposition itself. As businesses around the world look to diversify their supply chains and reduce dependency on China, the Philippines could emerge as an attractive alternative. Its young and dynamic workforce, coupled with competitive labor costs, make it a viable option for manufacturing and service industries. The Philippines could become a more attractive destination for businesses looking to diversify away from China. By capitalizing on its strengths and addressing its weaknesses, the country can attract foreign direct investments and foster economic growth. Initiatives to improve infrastructure, streamline regulations, and enhance the business environment will be key in this endeavor. It's a high-stakes game of economic poker, and the Philippines needs to play its cards right. Navigating the complexities of international trade and geopolitics requires astute leadership and strategic planning. The decisions made today will shape the future of the nation, determining whether it can rise to the challenge and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. Section 6. When China sneezes, global markets brace for impact. But this isn't just about China and the Philippines. China's economy is like a giant panda, adorable, but if it falls over, everyone feels the tremors. A slowdown in China could send shockwaves through the global economy. We're talking about everything from iPhones to avocados getting more expensive. And let's not forget about the geopolitical implications. A weakened China could embolden other countries to challenge its dominance. This could lead to instability and conflict, which is about as fun as a karaoke session with a tone-deaf water buffalo. Section 7, tectonic shifts, China's crisis and the changing world order. So what's the real story here? Is it just another economic hiccup? Or are we looking at a fundamental change in the global landscape? Is China's economic crisis a temporary blip, or is it a sign of something bigger? The signs are pointing towards a deeper, more systemic issue. I think it's the latter. The economic indicators, the political maneuvers, and the social unrest all suggest that this is not just a passing phase. We're witnessing a shift in the global balance of power, and China's economic woes are just one symptom of this larger trend. The ripple effects are being felt worldwide. The world is becoming increasingly multipolar, with new centers of power emerging. Countries like India, Brazil, and even smaller nations are starting to play more significant roles on the global stage. The US is no longer the undisputed top dog, and China is facing its own set of challenges. The dynamics are shifting, and the old hierarchies are being questioned. The old rules are breaking down, and no one knows what the future holds. The uncertainty is palpable, and it's affecting everything from stock markets to international relations. It's enough to make you want to stock up on ramen noodles and hide in a bunker. But instead of retreating, we need to understand these changes and adapt to them. The world is evolving, and so must we. This is a time for innovation and collaboration. We need to come together, share ideas, and find new ways to navigate this complex landscape. The future may be uncertain, but it also holds immense potential for those who are prepared. Technology will play a crucial role in shaping this new world order. From artificial intelligence to renewable energy, the innovations of today will determine the leaders of tomorrow. Education and research are more important than ever. We need to invest in our future generations, equipping them with the skills and knowledge to thrive in this changing world. And let's not forget the importance of cultural understanding and global citizenship. In a multipolar world, cooperation and mutual respect will be key to maintaining peace and prosperity. So while the challenges are significant, the opportunities are equally vast. The world is changing, and it's up to us to shape it for the better. Let's embrace this new era with optimism and determination. Section 8, the real story. Connecting the dots in China's economic puzzle. So there you have it. China's economic crisis is a complex issue with no easy answers. It's a tangled web of internal and external factors, all intertwined like a plate of drunken noodles. But one thing is clear, this is a story that's far from over. The decisions that China makes in the coming months and years will have a profound impact on the entire world. So, stay informed, pay attention, and maybe invest in some antacids, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Section 9. Stay tuned. This story is far from over. We've looked at the symptoms, the ups and downs of the market, the fluctuations that keep investors on their toes. We've poked at the potential causes, from policy changes to global trade tensions and everything in between. And yes, we've even thrown in some animal metaphors for good measure, because who doesn't love a good bull and bear analogy? But the truth is, China's economic future is still being written. The pages are turning, but the ending is far from clear. Will they pull a rabbit out of the hat and rebound stronger than ever? Will innovation and resilience lead them to new heights? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the end for the Asian economic miracle? Is this a temporary setback or a sign of deeper issues? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your browser bookmarked, because the twists and turns are just beginning. We'll be right here, bringing you the latest updates. the most insightful analysis, and yes, a touch of humor to keep things interesting. So stay tuned, because the next chapter in this economic saga is just around the corner. Whether it's a boom or a bust, we'll be here to break it all down for you. From the bustling streets of Shanghai to the serene countryside, every piece of the puzzle matters. The global economy is interconnected, and what happens in China affects us all. The next generation of leaders, innovators, and thinkers are watching closely, learning from the past and preparing for the future. As we navigate these uncertain times, one thing remains constant: our commitment to bringing you the most comprehensive coverage, the sharpest insights, and the most engaging stories. So, as the sun sets on another day of economic speculation, remember, this story is far from over. Stay with us, and together we'll uncover what comes next. Section 10. Your call to action. Become a China watcher. Don't just sit there with your chopsticks in hand, folks. This is where you come in. The future of the global economy might just depend on understanding what's happening in China. So do your research, follow the news, and maybe brush up on your Mandarin. Become a China watcher, and together we can try to make sense of this brave new world, one fortune cookie prediction at a time.